Hi guys, I have somebody pretty special today because as you can see, there's a nice mic in front of him. So this is something that he's been doing for quite a long time than I have, and I have seen a lot of podcasts done by Aman. In fact, one of the first guys I spoke to a few months back after watching what he does. So a guy who needs no introduction. If you are in India, if you work in D2C, if you work in scaling your e-commerce brand, but I would still request Aman to introduce himself, what he does for all you guys to know. But before saying that, thank you, Aman, so much for joining me. And I know you're really cool and you're really good at your job. So the floor is yours. Welcome.
Thanks for thank. I'm really humbled by that introduction. It's not as if I'm doing this podcast thing like for a long time, but yeah, it's been quite a while. I was planning to start a podcast for quite a while, but yeah, finally I was able to do it. Cool. So, a little bit about me. I run a DTC marketing agency, and I've been doing it for around 3.5 or 4 years. And along with that, I also consult DTC brands for growth and partner with some brands, helping them in growing on all the aspects, working like with them on the business side as well as on the marketing side. So yeah, more or less, like what I do is all around DTC and marketing. So that is that is all I know pretty much.
And that's all we want to hear about one B2C marketing growth. And the nice part that you mentioned, you've been doing this for 3 to 4 years now. So you've seen the peak of the industry, pre-COVID, post-COVID. I have a few questions that I want to pick your brains into that later on. But that's a very good learning cycle for all of us, in this very, very dynamic market. So tell me one thing, right? Let's start from the very basic. It's like I am a D2C brand owner, and I got to see one of those cool podcasts of Aman. He's trying to talk about, hey guys, I can help you with growth, all my strategies. So tell me, if I am a brand, I come to you. What are the top five problems that you see today? D2C brands suffering from, and something that you think are the top things to solve in today's market environment.
Yeah. So to name a few, I have spoken to a lot of DTC brands, and one thing to note here is, unlike any other industry, and I think it's pretty much common that every industry in its different stage has a lot of different type of problems. So if there's a brand have a different set of problems than compared to a brand which is actually doing $10,000 to $15,000 per month. But basically, if you want me to point out on like a few of the common problems that I come across, the first one being increased cost of acquisition.
Okay.
This is a problem which, like, I'm kind of summing it up in one, but this is a huge problem. And this is not just a problem, I would say, but this is a result of too many problems combined. So this actually covers, like, it's kind of an umbrella that covers too many problems, which can be a poorly converting website, and it can be rising ad cost, not producing great creatives, not focusing on the brand, and like, of course there's not much traction on the product, so people kind of just look at the product, but there is no such urge that like, yeah, I saw this. And e-commerce industry runs like that. You saw a product, you are like amazed with, and you're fascinated when, like, you will kind of visualize, okay, when will be that moment when I'll hold that product in my hand. That is the one difference between in e-commerce and like selling physical products and digital products.
Very interesting.
So yeah, so that is something which you should be able to incentivize a customer, and you have to be able to make them visualize that, okay, I am excited to hold this product in my hands. So these are like pretty much the things that and these are kind of everything like a brand struggles with, and different depending on the different stages where they are in, these are the common struggles I found.
Very, very interesting. I never thought of it this way, that I think when somebody's selling a car, or, people say that you're selling the experience. When somebody's selling you a vacation, it's like you're selling the dream of relaxation, or, whatever. But it can be very nicely put, as you said, Aman, is about D2C brand, is like holding that brand in your hand and trying to either add value to something in my life or trying to solve a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, very very nicely said. In fact, I was talking to one more Shark Tank India brand last week, and that person very very beautifully described of a very very simple thing, that how D2C brands should kind of engage, building the entire content story around it. So that's true. Going back to what you said, among the CAC, uh, that's where he also brought about the point. He said that there is this misconception that a lot of D2C brands have. Once you grow in scale, you will have those economies of scale kind of a thing. Your ROAS will go, will increase, and you'll be able to make better margins. He's saying, but with this entire dynamics of the industry, the cost of ads are just increasing, increasing, and increasing. They're just not coming down. They're putting extremely high pressure. So as a D2C brand, even the ones who have survived the first 3 years in the market, which is the very tough part, are still having very similar problems of margins and ad scaling, etc., because conversions are still really low, right? Are you experiencing the similar thing, that some mature brands are still struggling with this kind of things, even when you compare it to some very early brands?
Yeah, rising ad cost is kind of a not a problem but a phenomena that the entire industry is going through now. So be it a mature brand, be it a newcomer brand, so this is kind of a phenomena which like which no one is relieved from. So everyone is facing rising ad cost and it will continue to be so. Like there is, I don't think nearly in next few years or like whatever time you consider, there is like there will be a time when the ad cost will go down. I don't think so it would go down. What a business needs to do is develop operational efficiency and develop their expertise around coping up with these increasing ad costs. And for that they will need to tighten the entire process of what they would like. So like you can't allow any leaks to be there. So
Mhm.
earlier it was like you used to run ads, the ad costs are cheap, so you can get away with an okay kind of a website
Yeah.
because yeah, the ad costs are cheap anyways. The ads are driving traffic to the website. Website is converting. Website is still converting low, but yeah, it's manageable because the entire ROI of the entire thing is okay, and it's like the brand is still profitable. So they won't focus much on the leaks. Like there is a 404 page which is like a broken link. So there were many such kind of stuff. And even when I audit many brands these days, uh, the number one mistake is they continue to do those same things. But the times have changed, and now what you need to do is you need to tighten up the entire thing, the entire process, starting from which ads are you running, which links of your website are you sending them to, are the
Mm.
pages optimized for that, and even after, like when they are reaching the checkout process, is everything set up correctly, and even after that, is the customers receiving timely updates about their products.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
all of these are few things that it has started to matter much more than it used to matter earlier.
Okay. Yeah, all those, very micro
Yeah.
things that the brand can make you feel. Okay. So again, conversion optimization needs to be top notch. A lot of efforts need also to go into CRO activities, as we call it,
Yeah.
not just that. Um, I would like to understand this from you, Aman, because you talk to a lot of D2C brands on a weekly basis. What I have felt in the past few weeks is about in the past 1 month, about 15 plus brands that I've spoken to, they had launched about 3.5 years back, right? And they all are complaining that the estimate of growth that they had kind of done based on COVID is kind of coming down. Okay. So there's a decline in traffic, there's a decline in sales, which is of course hitting the margins. What, in your opinion, is going on? How do you read the market at the moment?
Yeah, so like I was even speaking to some agency owners who run, like who manage a lot of brands, and so that's a good way to kind of understand what is happening with the market. And mostly what is happening is like you have maybe $100 in your pocket. So depending upon the situation of the market, you will decide to spend it on something. Earlier, when everything was locked down, when the world has switched off, you were not allowed to go anywhere. So you had certain things where you were spending your money. So it was basically purchasing products, or purchasing some digital products, or spending time watching movies, etc.
Hmm.
So people, when COVID finished, and when like lockdown was taken away, and people started moving out. So that is when people started to allocate those $100 of money they had in experiences other than products or purchasing something. So this is probably one of those reasons why those estimates that were made during COVID or pre-COVID were kind of naive, because they don't the complete market is changed right now. So
Hmm.
people have different set of preferences, and like they want to spend money more on experiences, because who knows like when the next COVID wave will come, and when you will be made to sit in your house for the entire month.
That's
So they are now
right? Even
spending.
psychology, yeah, has
Yeah,
just changed, like, yeah, okay. Uh-huh.
yeah, so like that is where I think the estimates, like when talking about estimates, that is where majorly it like brands are struggling to make correct estimates, because the market or consumer preferences have been changed quite a lot.
Hmm.
And along with that, again, as there's a lot of behavioral changes in customers and consumers. Like too many new social media apps are coming up, and there's a too many new things are coming up on internet. So people are not as obsessed with shopping as they were during COVID. So
Hmm.
that is one thing that's happening in my opinion.
Okay. So again, coming down to the whole conversion funnel, I think is more and more important, because maybe you were getting 100 visits earlier.
Yeah,
The cost rising, either you increase the ad spend to get 100, or maybe it will be 80 now. But trying to get that conversion for the number that come in is more critical than ever, right?
true, true.
Okay. So this is a big debate that I have seen across the industry, and I love to understand what I had to ask you this question: um, acquisition versus retention. What's your take here, Aman?
Yeah, you said it right. It's a hot debate, but I think it's kind of one of the most lamest debate happening around the internet.
Okay. Why
Because
would
it's
you say
never,
that?
yeah, because it's never acquisition versus retention.
Okay.
People doing retention marketing say that retention is the new acquisition.
Okay.
Retention can never be a new acquisition. You'll have to run, or you'll have to do some or the other activities on top of the funnel.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a certain way emails will perform. There will be a certain way emails, SMS are made to perform, but they are not the platforms using which you can reach out to masses. They are not the platforms using which you will be able to acquire new customers.
Mm-hmm.
And if, for example, people who are debating that retention is a new acquisition, just I would want to ask them to shut off their ads for a month, and now let's see what retention does.
Mm-hmm.
I also personally do retention marketing, but
Sure.
I am completely aware that without acquisition, there's no retention. If you're not acquiring new customers regularly, whom will you send emails to, and whom will you ask to purchase again and again?
Okay.
So there's no option of this. And I think this debate is kind of making too much noise these days. But it's actually both combined acquisition and retention. They have to work together, and that is only when a brand could survive today.
Okay. I think you're right, and I agree there. The debate a lot depends on um, what stage of the brand you are in. Are you
Yeah,
early stage? Are you 5 year plus? Are you an established brand in the market, kind of a thing? And also about the split, right? If you had $100 to spend, would you spend 80 on acquisition, 20 on retention? 5 years down the line, 50-50 kind of a thing as well.
Yeah.
And but again, I kind of agree with you that you have to bring in people. You have to serve them. You have to get them to become your paid users first, and then
Right.
eventually try to retain them, because it cannot happen without that. So that makes total sense. Okay.
And it's really important. I think the debate is one aspect, but as business, so the my only problem and my entire podcast is based upon these ethos that there's a lot of content on internet these days, and everyone is trying to share their knowledge, everyone is trying to force their opinions in like onto brand owners. But the only problem is that is kind of they are not able to view clearly. Brand owners are like the real image is getting blurred out because of that. If you are a brand owner who is listening to this or listening to any of the stuff on the internet, it's very important that you understand the roles of each platform. Why ads, why are there ads, and why there are emails and sms, and why there is push notifications, and like everything, every platform that you use, every tool that you use, you need to, as a brand owner, no marketer will tell you this, as a brand owner you need to clearly understand what its role is. That is only when you will get to know ki, acha, this is the role of this tool, and I should not use this tool to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't use fork to like drink soup. That is not going to happen.
Oh, that's really very nicely put on. I think yes, there is a lot of content, a lot of people trying to share their experience, a lot of people trying to sell stuff at the end of it, right, deep down.
Yeah.
However, you realizing that what is your brand trying to deliver, what's your differentiation factor, what is the target market persona that you want to reach out with, right? Because emails will definitely perform a way better than a pop-up on a website or something else. Are they young guys, old guys, etc.? So I think, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And um, one of the biggest challenges of AI at the moment is context.
Hmm. True.
And what you're trying to say is exactly the context, because I can go and watch a podcast or read a blog, but trying to convert and translate that to my own context takes a lot of work as well. So yeah, that's true. Now we were staring at the debate. Aman, let's talk about another debate, and I'd love to hear your views on that. Discounts. Okay, this is again a lot of people writing about discount. Discounts are good, discounts are bad. To me, discounts are necessary evil of the e-commerce industry. Right? It's something just there. What's your take? And if you had to design a strategy, then what would be your advice for brands? Will be.
That's a good point to discuss on. So what we believe actually, with every brand that we speak to, we like, almost every brand owner comes with a perspective that they don't want to give away discount, mainly because they don't want to the world to view them as a discounting company or a brand which always gives discounts. So the problem here is not discounting. The problem here is mindless discounting or lazy discounting, as I call it. So what people tend to do is just to attract customers, they don't think of anything else, and they just give away 10%, 20% off coupons, and think that they will get customers. But that is the activity where your brand image might be getting or might be taking a hit, and you are going to be called and you are on the way to being called as a discounted brand.
Hmm.
But all it is about is offers. Why do we give discounts? Discount is just a way to incentivize a customer to make a purchase with you and not someone else. So you are trying to incentivize your customer. What we tend to always assume is discounting is the best kind of incentive, but that is not the right thing. For that you need to understand what the customer is. Like we work with a couple of brands who are in the premium niche, like they sell products which average around 150 to 200 dollars average order value.
Hmm.
And that is where we found that discounting is not the best incentive.
Hmm.
Instead, free gifts are something that works well. uh, and for some brands free shipping is kind of a big deal.
Hmm.
And for some brands it can be tiered discounts, like buy one save 10%, buy two save 20%. So these kind of activities needs to be thought through, and it is not like give a discount and you will get a customer. That, like, this is not the kind of exchange that usually takes place. You need to think of offers. It's not discounts that we need to debate about, but we need to debate about offers. What offers are the best for your customer, and that is what you will know when you understand your customer truly, and you'll need to test different offers. That is when you can understand, is discounting a good way to go, or
Yeah.
do you have to employ some other offers.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Nicely put there. Uh, because about 150 AOV is quite a big amount, right? And usually somebody who's kind of going and spending that amount would not really care about 2%,
True.
5%, right? They
Yeah.
have to see value. Something funny, but I came across an ad of Lamborghini last week, and it was like a creative which said that we don't spend money on TV advertising
Yeah.
because we don't, our customers are not sitting and just watching TV.
Yeah, I saw that
Yes,
ad. Yeah.
and so nicely put.
Yeah.
Just having that deep understanding of the target market segment, and then trying to do the whole positioning around it.
Yeah. And
What?
mindless discounting also poses one like common issue that we don't generally look after. Mindless discounting eats away from your profit margin.
Yeah,
A customer might be willing to buy your product for $100, but instead you are giving it away at $80 or $90.
yeah,
So the $10 that you're losing is not you are losing that from your profits. You're not losing that from your revenue, actually, because you already have acquired that customer,
hmm,
and that customer might have spent $100 with you, but they ended up spending $90 with you. So
yeah.
that $10 you have already lost, and that is from your profits. That is what mindless discounting actually, like, the common threat that is poses. And you won't understand right now, but you will understand it at the end of the year, when you tally your balance sheets. That is where you will find out those problems.
No, that's wonderful. So, guys, I learned two more things from Aman, apart from all the other things that I've been learning: lazy discounting, right, and mindless discounting. So that's something I'm going to use, Aman. Let me tell you that. Uh, One strategy or approach can be, if you are actually discounting, then you include that in the pricing. So yes, it's so-called discounted for the customer. However, your margins are still not impacted. Kind of an approach now after again COVID, when we see the sales going down, or just because the sales are going down, you would still see people are going after the lazy discounting, as you call it.
Yeah. You will see both kind of stuff being happening. There are brands which do those fake discounts, or like they show $100, the product is actually 100, but they will do it 120 and then reduce it to 100.
Yeah.
So this kind of stuff goes on, and the funny thing about it is, you as a brand owner know that this is happening, and the customer while shopping also knows that this is happening,
Oh,
but
really?
still, yeah,
Okay.
like
Okay.
you know it, right? If you go on a website and try to purchase a product,
Hmm.
and if it is the second or third time you're visiting that website, you already know what's the price of the product,
Sure.
and you might have already done your research. Customers
Yeah.
these days are they don't buy any product straight away. They do their own research, so they
Yeah.
kind of know what the product is selling at. And everyone knows that that is a fake discount, but still, it's all
Mm.
about those psychological triggers. So when
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
see something is discounted, you want to go and purchase it right away. So it's not wrong in any way, because that
Yeah.
is again incentivizing them to like purchase. But yeah, both the things will go on, and I don't think it's bad till when you are not doing you're making the price of the product 100 to 500 and then giving a 80% discount. I
Right.
think that
Yeah.
is that is an injustice to the customer as well as to the brand.
Hmm. Hmm.
Unless
Yeah.
that is happening, everything is fine.
Fair. No, point taken on. I think that makes sense. So, which one is your favorite tool to run ads, and where do you think the performance works best for D2C?
Yeah, that's a quite broad question, and it would differ from every brand.
Hmm.
Like it's again, you'll have to understand where your customers are. For some brands, it might be Google. For some brands, it might be Meta, and for some
Okay.
brands, it might be TikTok, and for some, it might be all of them.
Okay.
Or like as we see in India, there are some like and not just in India, but in every country, they will have certain other local social media apps,
Hmm.
and that is what many people ignore, but I think that's a great opportunity. Like you should look at the local social media apps, not the global ones, but the local ones which is inside your country, because many people, or you will see tier 2 tier 3 cities, people from there are super active on those kind of apps,
Hmm.
more than Facebook or Google or any other social media app or search engine.
Okay.
So you'll have to understand where your customer is, and based on that you can identify where like, and you can spend a small budget, and you can see where it works well. Usually the difference between these apps is that Google is kind of a platform which is a pull marketing, we call it, and
Hmm.
Facebook or these social media ads, where you play some video ads and all, so these are kind of push marketing.
Hmm.
So the ROI like ROI generally is very high in terms of Google, because there the intent of people is much higher compared, like
Hmm.
if you're scrolling Facebook, you are not willing to shop anything.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just that the brand is suggesting you, and like they're displaying their ad in front of you, but you, like, it is not on your top of the mind key, now I have to purchase at this very moment, I have something that I need to purchase. But it is the opposite thing on Google. When you're going on Google searching about something, then your intent is to purchase. So
Yeah.
generally the ROI or the ROAS, what you call it, it remains higher on the Google side. But the problem there is of volume, because we are not able to generate demand on Google, but
Okay.
we are able to generate demand on these social media apps.
Yeah.
So here the game is like generate volume of sales through social media apps, and generate high ROI sales from Google. So that is kind of the balance right now.
Balance. Yeah. No, I second you there, Raman, because again, as part of KUI, when we are an intent based platform, and we see this very very nicely there, that uh, all the organic visits coming to the Shopify stores, for example, the intent is much more higher. The
Yeah.
conversion rate also is much more higher, rather than them shown something else on a social media scroll. But when they come actually to the brand's website, it's completely different. So there's a huge gap how to kind of nudge this together.
Yeah.
But from an intent perspective, absolutely yes. Okay. I have last two questions now, Aman.
Sure.
One is, you have to, and that's a must question, and I think that's maybe not the most important, but very important question is, tell us something about yourself that you've never told anybody else.
So what I have not told everybody else is like I started my career as a digital marketer, as many would like to call it. Everyone, almost everyone I know, started it as a digital marketer. But then, so that is when we were learning everything about marketing, and it was not focused on any industry like e-commerce, SaaS, lead generation, anything like that. So it
Mhm.
was like we were learning about general marketing. How do we do marketing communications? How do we do copywriting? How we do emails? How we do Facebook ads, etc. So that is when at one point it had to, like, we had to focus on industries, like what or like which industry do you want to serve, because that is only when you can plan to serve those clients, because you'll have to learn about that industry.
Yeah.
Like for example, you are selling insurance, and at the, like, the next day you can't wake up and sell something to real estate clients. That is
Right.
not going to happen, so you'll have to learn about that industry. So I was always like kind of very much excited to join e-commerce as an industry,
Mhm.
because I used to like see those videos where the person is sleeping and they have that phone, like, and when they wake up they see five notifications of a purchase of $90 has come through, a purchase of $120 has come through.
Okay.
So I was like always hearing those stuff, like you, to be rich or to generate wealth, you'll have to earn while you sleep. So, and this was kind of the closest relative to what like what I heard. So That is when I got in love with e-commerce. And yeah, so that's how the journey started. And again, if you are willing to do something, you will see the opportunity straight away. So I got an opportunity to work with a very small brand, and from there on it was like the journey of working with e-commerce brands.
Wow, that's a very inspiring story, Aman. I'm glad you shared this, because if you have to do something, then you find your way, and
Yeah,
I think inspiration can come from anywhere and everywhere, right? All around us there are things that can inspire us and drive us to go and execute. Oh, that's very wonderful. In fact, just brought a big smile on my face. Just feel happy about what you're doing, right? So thank you for sharing that. That's very
like
nice. And the last one is, imagine if I was a very young D2C brand. I have spent about 6 months on my product development, understood what my differentiation factor will be, planned all my collateral, site, etc. What are the top things you would suggest that I should keep in mind for my next 1 year, where most of the D2C brands, in your opinion, go wrong?
So I would start with what DTC is all about. It's about like we call it, the industry is also known as CPG, like consumer product goods.
Hmm.
So this is, we are selling consumer product goods. So no matter what we are doing, everything is around the product. So it's very important that you don't just stay on the clouds thinking about building a brand and all. First, it's about the product. At the end of the day, you, whatever you are doing comes down to the product.
Hmm. Okay.
So the most common problem I see here in this stage is many business owners who want to start a DTC brand, because it's kind of all the hype now.
Mm-hmm.
So they start the brand, but they neglect the product. And that is a mistake which consumers don't let go, which and they bash the brand all around, and consumers are vocal these days. So
Yeah, good and bad of social media. Yeah.
yeah, so you do all the good stuff, like do all the great marketing, you have a great website, you have great reviews and all, which you might have like did some shady stuff to get because you are not yet having a great product. But
Mm.
if you do all those stuff right, and you have a below average product which doesn't deliver to the promises, that is something which is a blunder, and that will never allow you to grow. That may allow you to have some quick wins, like you can scale your brand to a level, but it will never
Mm.
allow you to build a proper business.
At the heart of your entire e-commerce or D2C offering, right? What people want to use and look at you is how superior your product is and what problem is that product solving for them.
True.
And if you kind of compromise on that, don't deliver on the value that you're promising on your nice website and email campaigns,
Yeah.
it's not just going to not get repeat purchases, but also have that bad spread,
Yeah.
and you're right today, there
And
can be a lot of.
also one more common, like one more thing I would like to add on to this is uh, this is a common problem. We just say it naively that you need to build a great product, but
Yeah,
this is not a 1 month job. If you're a
yeah,
founder, you're starting to build a product, this is not a 1 month job that you can straight away build a product which is superior than everyone else. There
yeah.
are many big players who have way too many resources, huge manufacturing plants, huge R&D departments, huge marketing department. They are still not being able to do it, and you can do it in 1 month. It's not that. But what's important is you deliver on your promises, as I said it. So why not make promises which you can actually deliver on?
Yeah,
Why make
yeah.
promises which you may not deliver on? Instead, make promises which you can actually deliver on.
Sure.
Like there are products, for example, there are headphones. Every
Mm.
headphone markets themselves different. So
Mhm.
why do you want to deliver, or why do you want to promise the greatest sound quality? You
Mm.
can promise great comfort. That is
Mm.
also one selling point of a brand.
Yeah.
You can also you can also highlight something else. So
Mm.
it's about, not about creating a superior product than everyone else, but it's about not kind of toying with your customers. Don't tell
Yeah.
them what you're not, just tell them what you are, and they will support you. That is one good thing about today's consumers, and that we need to that we need to exploit. So be true to your customer, be true to your product, and be true to your brand. That is the mantra of success.
Very nicely said. A couple of examples there I'd like to add, just to substantiate your point, Naman. Like Indigo, one of the airlines in India,
Yeah.
they never promised on, luxury or, superior whatever. They always promised on time performance,
Yeah.
right? And now I believe the pricing of that airline is extremely high. It's like how a premium airlines work without the position of premium. Okay. Another thing that I recently read a blog on is how the travel industry is kind of changing. They were trying to also take British Airways as an example there. He's saying when you're trying to sell vacation and holidays, everybody tries to sell it as a dream that when are you going to land in that place, and then you see a beautiful hotel or a mountain or a beach, and you see a glass of mojito and things like that. So while you can sell that, there are always the other things that you can sell which are in the process, is the hassle of booking a holiday, price guarantee of what you're trying to offer, some kind of insurance that we cover. We'll also take care of something goes wrong. Those are all the things that one can pick from, and even in the same sector or industry can create their own differentiation and deliver. Like not everybody in the food industry will say, hey, organic, or we are
Hmm.
healthy. No, it doesn't cut it. You have to go over and beyond. So
Yeah. True.
yeah,
It's all about the experience that you're delivering to your customer. Like you'll have to deliver an experience which they are just like, they just don't want to forget, and they
yeah,
want to share it with their friends. Ki, yeah, I just saw this product I just saw an ad of this product. I went to the website and purchased, and when this
yeah,
was kind of like one hell of an experience, you should also experience it. That is how
sure.
products go viral, and that is how delivering a great experience makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I saw a post done by oral care brand last week, where one of the founders actually explained, saying, this is our philosophy, and we get inspired by these five different brands. Also, he
Mm.
named the brands, and he said that this guy in the UK does this nicely, this guy, whatever. And I saw a post from somebody else. He's saying, you know what? Hey, I already have a toothbrush from you. Stop trying to sell me more because I will buy it. And that's a wonderful example of what a brand is, right?
True.
They are about 3 years in the industry now, but what they are able to connect with the community, etc., is brilliant. And I think there are so many nice case studies all around us, and guys like Aman who help you deliver those case studies and imbibe that in your brand. So, saying that, I would like to really thank Aman for his time. As I expected, I learned a lot talking to him. I'm sure you guys would have as well. Feel free to reach out to Aman. He's super helpful, and comes with a lot of experience in helping you scale your brand. He's worked with early stage brands and even the advanced high level guys. If you have more money to spend and looking to optimize your ads and improve there. So again, thank you, Aman.
Thank
And
you, Sutang. Thanks a lot to give me a chance to speak at your podcast, and I hope so. Like I was able to add some value to your audience and you yourself. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
No, thank you again, Aman, and we look forward to doing this again pretty soon. So,
Sure.
thank you again.
Yeah. Thank you.